Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of Founders Friday with founder and CEO Seneca Hampton. Last week, we learned how Seneca built a $12.2 million business from the ground up through his hyper-leverage execution model. This week, he's dropping more knowledge and tips for founders just like you. Let's check it out. So you are doing a lot by yourself.
Yes.
That is super impressive. That's amazing. What motivates you?
That's a deep question.
We're going deep.
Yeah, that's a deep question. It comes from a very personal place. Okay. I think a lot of entrepreneurs do probably, right? The way you grew up, your family, the stuff you've seen, the stuff like family motivates me now.
Absolutely.
You know, I have 2 kids and they just, you wake up and see them every day and the life that they have that I had and you know what I went through. Better. Yeah, you're just like, I don't want you to catch 22 there though.
Absolutely.
is I'm like at the same time I'm like I do not want to spoil you.
Yeah.
I kind of want you to feel the struggle a bit because it'll make you hungry. But you know, Daddy, can I go to whatever? And I'm like,
we can't go to SeaWorld today.
Yeah. But when reality is like there's no reason why we can't go to SeaWorld besides me saying no. So yeah, they really motivate me a lot. But just the way that I grew up in general, I have 4 brothers, 4 sisters. Okay. And it's funny, 1, 2, 3, my 3 sisters and 2 of my brothers, I had no idea that I even had brothers and sisters until I was like 6. Yeah. No idea. And so I guess like they were living with their grandparents or what, like it was just me and my younger brother were like, who are these people? But they're your siblings and they came to live with us and we grew up with them and they're my siblings. But I mean the stuff that we went through together, life was not easy having 8 kids, you know what I mean? So a lot of that stuff just really motivates you to like, I do not want to go back to that. And that like you're running from that, you know what I mean? But then there's also what you're running towards.
Absolutely.
So I think every day there's a vision in my head of where I see my life, what my lifestyle looks like with my family. And so there's a vision and then there's the past and you're kind of running away from one, running to the other.
I respect that because a huge amount of why I jumped ship from the corporate side of the corporate worlds, which I had a very nice position and job, you know, and who dives off of a cliff like that, you know, and for me as a single mother, it's to make sure that I can build a life to sustain and spend time with my daughter. Yeah. You know?
Yes.
Because I didn't have that. Yeah. My parents really, you know, underserved community, first generation immigrant, right? And grew up in a space where both of my parents worked 2 jobs each. Wow. So did not get that time spent. Wow. Yeah. You know? So for me, I knew that I wanted better. Yeah. You know? And that entrepreneurship piece in you comes out when that place really kind of comes to life when it happens, you know? It does. What would you say to any first-time founder and or any existing founder? What would you give them in terms of a piece of advice or motivation?
Oh, man.
I'm asking you the hard ones. We're going deep.
You're going deep now. What must happen, happens. And I heard that from a guy that I used to work with. And it basically is, if it's important to you, you'll figure it out. And that type of mentality, I feel like, is a prerequisite for anything you want to do, whether it be entrepreneurship, sports, a family, whatever. What's important to you, you will make happen. That doesn't mean you're going to be a blunt bat and bat your way through it, but that means that the work that you need to do to get through it, you just have to do it.
Perseverance.
Period, right?
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter how hard it is. Hard doesn't equal it can't be done. That's just a feeling, really, right? It's hard. That feels that way.
So is life.
Right? Exactly. People say that's not fair. I'm like, life's not fair. It's not. Like, what do you? But like, you know, it's. I think that's what I would say is, if whatever your vision or dream or you know company, whatever it is, you almost have to be like. There's a borderline between obsessed and.
There's an obsession.
Yeah. You know,
you have to, but it's the grind, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta love that process.
Yes, you do. The process of solving problems needs to be one of the funnest things that you could do. Oh, a problem. Oh, this is gonna be good, and you solve it. Like that rush you get. If you don't get that rush, and you're like, oh my God, this happened, or oh, this happened. That's fine to have your freak out. Right. It don't happen to everybody, right? But the rush of like, okay, now how do I get this solved? Is I feel because it just gets bigger and bigger, right? Another zero that's thrown behind it.
Absolutely.
It's it, but you know, you're getting bigger, but it's harder to see from the inside out. So
absolutely.
If I had to throw anything, I would say, you know, what must happen happens. Make it happen. Don't be afraid of the pain of the process or the difficulty. That shouldn't be, you know, on your scale of your Libra scale of should I do it or shouldn't. Right. Well, it's hard. That doesn't matter. Is the vision really something that can be big for you? Whatever your why is, your reason.
Right. So. Right. Absolutely. That's very inspirational.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Where are you projected for Adams to kind of go?
So. Again, I'm a contextual person, so I'm like, when she says that, does she mean like?
You can bounce it right back. I'll bat it right back to you.
Yeah, okay.
No, we play sports.
Yeah, when? So like, do you mean like next year, this year, vision, big, like, what do you?
I mean, you're going out for funding.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
You're going out for funding. You're asking for 1.5 in funding.
Yes.
What is that going to be used for, and what are your projections for that?
Okay, so right now, in order to get the business to where we've gotten the business. We've had to funding options for entrepreneurs that have startups outside of tech entrepreneurs, right? A majority of the funding is short-term, mid-term financing, right? And they can be very cash intensive on a business. And so we have like this 6-month gap that's coming up in the next 5 months. And that 6-month gap is make or break time. And so that 1.5, honestly, is to get us over that gap so that we're able to continue to grow and go. We've passed the point of slow your growth down. So now it's like...
You're putting the pedal to the metal.
Yeah. That's the only option at this point. Is it's like, don't hit a wall halfway. If you're going to hit it, right? I heard, so I don't want to curse on your show, but...
Curse.
So I heard somebody say, if you're going to eat shit, don't nibble.
I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, don't nibble. Like, just we're gonna hit it.
Take that big bite.
Yeah, just go. Right? You're gonna do it either way. So we were like, you know what? Like, let's just floor it because we kind of already passed that point. Had we, had I stopped, and I say we a lot, but had I stopped and I was like, you know what? Let me slow this down. But the sport of business is one of growth. So
absolutely,
if you're not growing, somebody's behind you and they're coming for you.
Absolutely.
So we have about a 6-month, window in the next 5 months where things are going to get really tight.
Right.
And so the 1.5 is to help us get over that hump.
For inventory.
Okay. Yeah. And it gives us a nice cushion to be able to do another push. We've grown our first year, from year 1 to year 2. Year 1, we were in stock for like a month. And we did like 30 grand. It was like a month. That was all the money I had inventory for. And the next year, we went from 30 grand to 300. Right? Great. Yeah, I was like, wow. Okay. But it was just rolling the money, rolling the money. We were running out of stock.
Okay.
The next year, we went from 300 to $1 million. So it's slingshotting, right? And then we went from 1 to 2 to 2 to 4 to 4 to this year is supposed to be 8. But we kept running into inventory issues heavier this year. And so...
what helped that growth? Because that's an impressive growth. I mean, year over year, you're hitting 100%, 100%, over 100%.
I mean, I was aiming for 300.
Shoot for the stars.
I was aiming for 3. And so when I see 100, I'm like,
That's spurring you. So you're like, we gotta get there.
Yeah, we can. So I mean, it's really finding out where the customers are, and then can I go on a tangent really quick?
Go.
I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs want this glorious, big, like bodacious. I'm selling, I'm winning, and it's like we got the contract for Microsoft or something. When there's tons of other small businesses or different customers that need your product or service. And so, I use the analogy of the tree and the fruit. And it's like, you don't have to climb to the top. Just stand at the bottom with the basket. And there's fruit falling all the time. Just because you climb to the top, okay, good for you. But I have all the fruit in the basket right here. So
that's a good point.
Who's winning, right? And so for me, it's just find out where the customers are. So for us, Amazon, we're Shopify, like people just trickle in. Walmart, like our door's getting pounded down. Walmart's pounding our door down. Target, I have.
You're in retail.
Yeah, yeah. I have people. We have gyms, physical therapy offices, indoor climbing gyms, right? Or like you name it. My inbox is like, hey, we want a wholesale account, and I'm like, I don't have the inventory to even be able to start it or fund it because the sales just keep on coming, and I'm like, I pull from here and put there, I lose the sales here, So, so for us, it's literally just getting over that 6 months, and then once we do that, there's some from the lessons I've learned over the past 5 years of doing it, there's a way to push the growth and scale it where we don't run into this anymore.
Got it.
And a majority of that is better financing.
Right.
You can't do mid and short term when you get that big because it just eats your cash. You need long-term financing. That's number one. And then number two is basically setting a budget for a new channel, right? Or marketplace or whatever.
Absolutely.
And so saying, hey, we're going to allocate a budget of $500,000 just specifically for this. And you can't go outside of that. And so when I first started, I was like, grow, roll it. And it works. And we're here where we are. But as you go through this stuff, you should be learning from the mistakes that you make or some of the things you can optimize.
Absolutely.
Right? Because 1 degree, as a ship gets bigger,
is a big
deal as you get big. When you're small, it's like, it doesn't matter. When you get that big, it's like, oh, that's 1 point. It's like 1 point on 6 million is like $60,000. You know what I mean?
You shared, a lot of that detail, and that's important because that's going to be, really. You're in a very good spot also. The market right now, there's a lot of investment opportunities,
Yeah.
So I think that's great. And for people to also reach out to you to help you grow your business and organization, make sure that it sustains in terms of, inventory.
Yeah.
And also you did it from the ground up, pretty much yourself.
Started with $700.
That's even more impressive.
It took me 3 years to save it. I was jumping around from job to job, and I was just saving $25 here and there until I found the opportunity, and I thought I found it, and I jumped in, and here we are now. And so, but the problem's gotten bigger and bigger. Like when I first started, it was like, hey, I need to buy inventory. I think it was like $7,000 worth of inventory, and I didn't have it. I was like, all I have is 3,000. I need 4. Where do I get it? And I figured it out. Yeah. And then the next one was like, now I need 20,000. Figured it out.
Absolutely.
They just add a 0 on the end. So now it's like, we need 1.5 million.
Okay.
The same concept. You just got to figure it out. So
absolutely. Well, we are here to help you. That's exactly why you're here on Founders Friday.
Woo!
And being a part of one of the entrepreneurs in Innovation City. We're super excited to have you. We'll definitely work with you on that and, send you over a couple contacts and information.
Thank you.
And any investors out there that are looking to invest in Hampton Adams, contact us.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
We're going to have you again. We're going to collaborate and do a lot more.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're stuck.
Yeah. You're stuck. You're stuck. This is it. This is the place. This is the place to be.
Awesome. Well, we will have you again.
Okay.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Check you out on the next Founders Friday, HamptonAdams.com.
Yes. Do more, always.
Hey, it's Vilavanh. Thanks for watching. Wasn't that an awesome episode of Founders Friday? If you want to get more insight from diverse entrepreneurs, please like, share, subscribe, and turn on that notification button. We'll see you next time.